This study provides evidence to support that ADHD is not just a whole brain disorder, it is a whole body inflammatory condition. Why you should care is because if we only treat ADHD at the level of attention or focus, we are missing the whole picture about inflammation and hormonal shifts that can affect our entire body when we have ADHD, because all of these things appear to be different. That's why to combat my ADHD, I had to build whole body systems. And if you want to learn more about how I did this and got through medical school with unmedicated ADHD, comment systems and I'll send you more info. The key science concept behind this is about the HPA axis, which is the hypothalamic, pituitary, and adrenal axis. I'm going to explain what that is. This study looked at inflammatory markers and looked at cortisol, and it points to the fact that in people with ADHD, our cortisol systems appear to be dysregulated. This points to dysregulation of the HPA axis, the hypothalamic, pituitary, and adrenal axis, which is an axis that connects our brain and the hormones that our brain produces and releases to our whole body to our adrenal glands, and basically underlies our whole stress response and nervous system. In fact, this axis doesn't just control stress. It controls things like thyroid function, the way our reproductive organs work, it controls sleep-wake cycles, and it helps us to regulate our immune systems. This study found that in children with ADHD, they not only had lower levels of morning cortisol, they also had higher levels of inflammatory markers compared to neurotypical peers. Interestingly enough, they also had lower levels of the protective biomarkers, the things that fight against inflammation. These biomarkers are also things that help protect neurons, like the neurons that make our dopamine and our serotonin from things like oxidative stress, which is essentially stress that is put on the cells of your body when they are active. All of this contributes to our brains being inflamed. This paper also references another study that suggested that stimulants like methylphenidate can actually help to increase biomarkers that can be neuroprotective. One that was mentioned is called BDNF, and other medications like, for example, guanfacine, have been implicated in helping modulate brain inflammation as well. Non-stimulant medications have a different mechanism, like guanfacine has a different mechanism for how it could influence brain inflammation. It works on a different cell type in the brain, but regardless, there are different medication options that can help. We also have so many different ways of protecting our nervous system and helping our nervous system regulate stress better. We also can help modulate inflammation in our system through things like diet and exercise, which are very protective, especially for ADHD brains. Exercise is one of the best things you can do. I always say if I could put exercise and the benefits of exercise in a pill as a doctor, it would be my most prescribed medication. What this study suggests to us is that things like diet, really good, consistent sleep, and going to sleep at the same time and waking up at the same time, and exercise, these are not optional things. These are part of comprehensive ADHD treatment, because the gut and the brain and the HPA axis and our stress and the way that we manage it are all connected in this beautiful system, and ADHD people need extra support in this. Follow me if you like learning more about your neurodivergent brain, and share this with somebody you think might be interested.